Before we dive in, a quick note for clarity and fairness. What you're about to hear is based on publicly circulating rumors, blind items, and social media chatter. At the time of recording, there has been no official divorce filing or confirmed statement from Alicia Keys or Swizz Beatz about a split or a pregnancy outside the marriage. We're breaking down what fans are discussing, what insiders claim, and how the narrative spread. So take every allegedly seriously. It started like a whisper, then the internet turned the volume all the way up. Fans noticed Alicia moving a little quieter than usual, ducking cameras, skipping the big smiles. One photo became a thread, one thread became a theory, and that theory became the headline. Alicia's done. The claim? She's retaining a heavyweight divorce attorney, the ring is off, and the reason isn't just late-night studio sessions. It's a side relationship that allegedly went way too far. If you believe the streets, this wasn't a fling, this was a pattern. And the breaking point, according to the timeline detectives, might be a pregnancy. Here's why the story hit so hard. For years, the marriage sat in that uncomfortable space between called #couple goals and is everything really okay? Swizz has always had a public aura, charisma, momentum, a circle of protégés, a calendar full of late nights. That combination invites speculation. Most of the time, the whispers burn out. This time, they spread. Not because anyone posted receipts, but because the dots were easy to connect and everyone wanted to play detective. Some fans swear they've seen this plot before. They reach back to old blind items from 2021 that hinted at a high-profile producer who keeps his extracurriculars quiet. Someone who once made a public relationship out of a scandal and vowed never to repeat that press nightmare. Another blind item suggested a husband enjoying his wife's busy schedule by getting too close to a rising artist he believed would be next. None of those posts named names, but the internet loves a puzzle with one obvious answer. The anger sharpened because the narrative feels circular. People remember how the Keys Beatz love story began in mess. They remember Mashonda's open letter. They remember the woman-to-woman claims that she reached out, asked for space, and felt ignored. They remember the accusations, then the truce for the sake of the kids. Even if you believe everyone evolved and made peace, the archives never disappear. That's why you lose them how you get them climbed back into the comments the second this new wave hit trending. Fair or not, the past colors the present. The wave hit trending. Fair or not, the past colors the present. Then came the sighting. A grainy clip, a rushed walk, sunglasses, hoodie, quick exit. Some said Alicia had just left a lawyer's office. Others said it was routine business. No one produced a docket number. Yet the rumor moved like truth. Why? Because the ending makes emotional sense to people who never accepted the beginning. That's how pop culture myths work. The story that fits gets repeated until it feels real. But let's slow down and ask the questions that matter. Where are the primary sources? If there's a legal filing, there's a case number. If there's a pregnancy, there are receipts beyond a friend of a friend. If a team is planning a surprise lawsuit, you don't usually see the client strolling past paparazzi outside the attorney's building. Sensational narratives love daylight. Serious legal strategy lives in silence. Now, on to the other elephant in the room, karma. It's the word riding shotgun in every thread. The argument goes like this. If you ignored another woman's pain on your way to a fairy tale, don't be shocked when pain rings your doorbell years later. It's sharp. It's satisfying. It's also dangerous when applied to real people with real kids. Karma is a neat bow we tie around messy human choices, but life rarely follows a clean moral arc. What is true is patterns. If someone has a history of crossing lines, it isn't wild to fear they'll cross another. That fear fuels the clicks. What about the alleged pregnancy? That's the flashpoint, because a baby turns rumors into consequences. It's the one detail the timeline keeps circling, even without public proof. If it exists, the truth will surface the way it always does. Filings, co-parenting agreements, hospital records, whispered to tabloids, a quiet photo that says everything without a caption. Until then, it's a story shaped by expectation, not evidence. There's also the career angle, and it matters. Alicia's brand is built on grace, empowerment, and control, musically and personally. A messy exit would clash with that image, which is exactly why people believe she'd play chess, not checkers, if she ever left. Hire the best. Move in silence. Serve papers when the ink is ready, not when the blogs are hungry. Those who buy the divorce whispers aren't pointing to proof. They're pointing to personality. Zoom out and the timeline splits into 3 camps. 1, she's done and she should be. These fans see a woman reclaiming her power, refusing to mother someone else's chaos, choosing a clean future. 2, this is karma. Lesson served. They don't cheer the pain, but they accept it as balance. 3, y'all are lying on a black family again. They demand receipts, defend the marriage, and warn against turning private wounds into public entertainment. All 3 camps are loud. All 3 believe they're protecting something. Alicia, the truth or the principle of minding our business. There's also the piece folks don't want to touch, the industry. Fame skews incentives. The studio is a workplace that never closes. Proximity becomes chemistry. Chemistry becomes danger. Couple that with power, platforms, budgets, mentorships, and you've got a setting where boundaries must be drawn on purpose, not assumed into existence. Plenty of artists do that work and keep their house solid. Plenty don't. The headlines only show the failures. Now, if you're Alicia in this rumor hurricane, your playbook has 3 pages. 1, keep it private and let the story starve. 2, issue a surgical statement. No details, just respect our privacy. 3, drop a record that says everything without naming anyone. We've seen artists rewrite an entire narrative in 3 minutes and a hook. And we've seen others take the no-comment route and outlast the noise. There's no perfect option when strangers want to eat the pain. Only the option that fits your life. If you're Swizz, the options are even uglier. Address it and risk confirming something you deny. Ignore it and watch the story grow teeth. The only thing stronger than a rumor is a lawsuit. And the only thing stronger than a lawsuit is a baby. That's why this hinge point, the alleged pregnancy, holds so much power. It's either the domino that knocks everything over or the detail that never existed. Let's be honest about why this stuck. The internet loves symmetry. A relationship born in controversy, dissolving in controversy, feels like narrative justice. But narrative justice isn't actual justice. And internet certainty isn't the same as truth. The more viral acclaim, the more skeptical you should be. Ask yourself, does this headline feed my bias or challenge it? Would I share it if it wasn't about celebrities I already judged? Here's a different lens. Growth. People mess up. People make terrible choices. People also change, apologize, co-parent, heal, and build something better than the mess they made. If this marriage really is over, it doesn't owe us fireworks. It owes 2 artists the chance to reinvent without public crucifixion. If it's not over, it doesn't owe us proof. It owes the kids a quiet home, and the parents a chance to reset their rules. So where does that leave the rumor that Alicia retained a ruthless divorce lawyer? With the same question everything here faces. Who said it, and what's the evidence? The entertainment machine runs on confident phrases with empty pockets. Sources say, insiders reveal, close to the situation. Those aren't facts. They're scaffolding built to hold your attention long enough to monetize the page. Here's the part that is real. Reputational gravity. Once your name gets tied to a pattern, cheating, triangles, protégés, every random coincidence starts to look like proof. That's not fair, but it is predictable. The only antidote is receipts. Not vibes, not edits, not a clip doorway video. Receipts. Until then, the best we can do is hold 2 things at once. Compassion for a family that's been the internet's favorite debate club for a decade, and discipline not to confuse headline heat with the truth. If a filing hits, we'll read it, not just retweet it. If a statement drops, we'll parse the words, not project our wishes. If none of that happens, we'll accept that silence isn't guilt. It's strategy or privacy or both. And if you're here for the music, the way a chorus can carry a decision you're too tired to say out loud, then you know how this usually ends. In the booth, not the blogs. The real revelations, the real apologies, the real boundaries. They show up on wax before they show up in court. Maybe that's the last twist in this timeline. The truth will arrive in a melody you can't get out of your head. So tell me this. If you stripped the names off the rumor and just left the choices, would your judgment be the same? Would you still want a public verdict? Or would you let two people fix or finish what only they understand? Drop your take below, but keep it human. No one on your timeline is a plot device. If anything actually changes, if papers surface, if statements land, if the alleged becomes the confirmed, you'll hear it here with context, compassion, and receipts. Until then, protect your energy, protect your mind, and don't let the algorithm sell you certainty it can't prove. The story isn't over. It might not even be true, but the lesson is timeless. Rumors are loud, proof is quiet, and the truth takes the longest way home.